Well, happy hump day to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy, bringing you another update on ICP. Just like we have been doing every single day. The community's so strong. You guys give me so much information. I feel obligated to do it. Don't mind doing it. It's an interesting coin. It's an interesting concept. So I really kind of want to keep up with it and see what happens. But we're gonna go ahead and figure this out all the way down from an hourly chart out to a weekly. I'm gonna give you some short and long-term targets, so you're gonna want to stick around for the whole video. But let's get to work and figure out exactly what's going on. We'll start off with that crypto fear and greed index, currently at 16. We were all the way down to a 9 the other day, so we have came up a little bit. This measures market sentiment. It tells us if people are scared or if they're greedy, and right now people are scared to death. But what I also like to do is I like to use this to make small spot purchases when we drop into fear and extreme fear. Then I sit on them, forget about them, and I start selling them off when we're into greed. Now, if we are in a bear market, we're going to stay in extreme fear for a while. But that's okay. I'll just keep buying as we go down, as we drop into those lower numbers in extreme fear, and eventually they come back up. But you can see I pulled up a bit Unex exchange. I went ahead and did some play money on here just so we can kind of track it, keep up with it, see how it actually works. Added to my ETH and Sol trades last night or sometime yesterday, and I bought a little bit Bitcoin yesterday just because we're below 100,000, and I think that's just a good opportunity to buy. But we'll keep up with this. We'll figure out what happens, and if you need an exchange to trade on, Unex is a great one. There's no KYC. You'll find a link to that in my description. Moving out to an alt season index, you can see we're out of 41. The thing about this is when we're in a Bitcoin season, when Bitcoin goes up, alts absolutely tank. Or when Bitcoin goes up, alts go up. When Bitcoin goes down, alts tank. And it's ugly. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So we need to get this over here. Right now, I don't see an opportunity for that, but we'll keep up with it. We'll figure out what's going on. Getting into the meat and potatoes, looking at the Bitcoin or the ICP liquidation heat map. This is what market makers use to track your liquidity. They don't care about TA. They don't care about your moving averages, smart money concepts. All they care about is your liquidation points, and they move the charts up and down to find them. Everything above price action is a short trade. Everything below price action is a long trade. And the cumulative totals right now, $7.66 million worth of short trades and $1.77 million worth of long trades. So what I think they're doing, I think they're coming down after this old liquidation, taking all the profits they can from every single person they can. So I think we have more downside, but we'll get into the charts. We'll break all that out. I post all these charts in the crypto school. You'll find a link to that in my description. Did post a signal for a short this morning on Bitcoin. It's doing pretty well at the moment. Go ahead and check that out. You're not going to want to miss it. But looking at ICP right now on the hourly chart, we tried to fill out some kind of head and shoulders pattern here. And if we do fall out of this, the technical target is right here about $4.70. That falls just below the 786 on the 4-hour retracement zone. So we'll see what happens here. There's a bearish fair value gap right above us, right at the 50 moving averages. That's the white and yellow line. That takes 50 of these candles, puts a fluid line on the chart, works as excellent support and resistance. I've also got the 200 moving average sitting right here at about 550, so I think the rejection is down. If we don't hold that 428 area, I think we come even further down, probably to 333 to 156. If we can get out of this consolidative mess and head up, 558 to 668 are your next targets. Get above that, 787 to 874, then on up to $11 to $13. Moving out on the 4-hour chart, it's going to give us a better idea of what's going on. You can see we've kind of came down. What I think this is an ABC correction that we do come on down a little more. But what we need to do is stay above this 200 moving average on the 4-hour that currently sits about 477. If we don't, I think we come down and retest this 350. That kind of matches the head and shoulders target that we've talked about. So it's something to keep in mind. If we can stay above this, get above the 4-hour 200s, we're headed up to this golden zone or this 382. 382 sits at $6.66. Golden zone sits 792 to 881. My real thought is that we're about to lose this 200 and we come down here. Do we go to $1.88 is yet to be seen. That fills out that wick from the flash crash about a month ago. So we need to watch that real close. $2 seems like a likely target. Moving out to the daily, you can see the same thing that I'm talking about here. This is an ABC correction. We're probably going to lose the 50 moving averages here, sitting at about 471 and 437 respectively. If we do, like I said, 356, the bottom of that wick sits at around 191 to $2. Market makers typically like to fill about 80% of that out. So I hate to be dismal here, but that kind of looks like where we're going. If we can bounce off of these 50 moving averages and get above this 200 moving average sitting at about 606, your next stops are going to be 676 to 811 on up to $12 to 1477. Looking at a weekly chart, it's going to give us a bigger perspective and a higher view of what's going on, and you can kind of see the same thing going on. With the weekly chart, I really think there's an opportunity right here about 344. That would be like a breakout, a retest, and then a bounce back up. But if we don't, I think a $1.80 somewhere in here is where we finish out. And if we can just bounce off of one of these fair value gaps, start heading to the upside. We need to watch 883 very close. We can get above that, 1340 to 1680. And then if we can get above all of that, we're bullish, guys, $26 to $33. But that gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on with ICP today. I think short term, we've got a little more downside ahead of us, but there's only so much further it could fall. So it's ugly. Bitcoin's ugly. The whole crypto space is ugly. What do you do? I try to find some kind of optimism in most of these videos. I'm just not very optimistic today. I think we've got more downside coming, but it can only go so far before we get upside. So what do you do at this point? Well, I think you just hang on to what you have, dollar cost average if we can find a bottom, and then work our way back up. That's where I am for today. I don't know how else to explain this today. It's just a mess. But I'm going to wrap it up. Don't forget to check out those links in my description. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, tap that bell notification. You'll get updates as soon as we upload a video. And don't forget to leave us a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm. If you think I'm crazy, I feel like I'm crazy today, go ahead and tell me in the description. I'll completely eat it up. But I'm going to wrap it up. I've got some work to do right behind me here in the Spur shop today, so I'll be around. I'll post some updates as the need arises. My name's Chris Hare, the World Champion Crypto Cowboy. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you down the road.